I am Karl-Heinz Rauscher, a medical doctor from Germany, and I work with medicine now more than 40 years, really, 43 years. And in the beginning I was trained in a hospital as a specialist for internal medicine. Then I switched to psychosomatic medicine, treating diseases who are somatic, also physical disease, but the reason or the origin of the disease is more on the soul level. So this is psychosomatic medicine. And in those days, I read the first book about Bert Hellinger's work with family constellations. And then I just saw that this is really a new thing. Now we can also look into the connections of human beings and understand the individual much better if we know about the connections in the former generations of the family and also other connections in their professional life and so on. And I trained myself in that and left the clinic, and ever since now 30 years exactly, I'm doing constellation work, family constellations in the beginning. I'm still doing that, but I also developed another kind of constellation work on the basis of family constellation, which I call symptom constellations. And the history of that is that I expanded the range of my focus not only to unresolved trauma in the family of origin, but also in the present family, and also very important to personal trauma in this life, childhood for example, and also very important, unresolved trauma in past lives. 30% of all cases show the trauma to be in a past life. And this is all covered by my constellation work, which I call Symptom Constellation. And in the last 20 years then I got to know also shamanic work, and well, it was almost 18 years now when the Healing Voices came to me in an indigenous sweat lodge. I just did some sounds in the constellation, in the sweat lodge, and people had some healing sensations. And they asked me then, what did you do? We had so a powerful healing impact. And I said, well, I don't know what that is. And I already knew this was some really special healing energies coming through me through sound. And then I didn't want to do it. It was too much for me also to be a shaman. I was not really ready for that at this time. I was already a medical doctor, specialist of internal medicine. I was a systemic constellator. I was already trained people in family constellations. Said, oh, I'm not a shaman. But I learned over the years, especially through a really serious disease which I had to go through, in the depth of this experience, being severely ill in myself, I understood that I cannot really, and not allowed really from the universe to really hold back that kind of healing. And then I decided, okay, if I get well enough, if the disease will diminish, will go away, I will offer that for everybody. And it did. And after a few years offering that for clients in a single-to-single situation, I found out in a special constellation that this can also be used, or you can also invite shamanic healing powers in a symptom constellation or a family constellation. And the Healing Voices did tremendous healing work. And what they really do, those shamanic healing powers, maybe I start with the origin. Where are they coming from? And all I know about it, and all I think that what we all can know about it, is that they are existing. They are just part of the universe. They are part of our world. They are around us all the time, and they are in us all the time, but for some reason, and I cannot tell you why that is. They cannot work by themselves. If they would, all those traumata would not have happened. So the world is not like that. So they need, those healing voices, shamanic energies need a certain frame. And there are two things important for the frame. One is a total yes of the client, so that the client says, yes, I want that, please open up for that. If that would not be the case, they could not work, they would not work, because they obviously respect free human will. And the second part of that frame is they need, and this is also not something which I could explain to you, but they obviously need a human being who is able and willing to be a pure channel for them, a medium for them. And this is then if that is possible, then both prerequisites are met. Then the work starts. They work if they want and if they can. And this is very healing work in a constellation. This is also very healing work. Also, if you don't do a constellation for that. So there are those two possibilities to work with healing voices. One, on a one-to-one basis without a constellation. So the client just lays on the couch and you do the work for them, or you do it in a constellation, and then this is a different story. In a single situation without a constellation, the shamanic healing powers, they transform the energy field of the client. They cleans it. They might be harmonize the field. They may also withdraw some burdening or bad energy out of the client. That's all possible. But in a symptom constellation or a family constellation, they do even more. And because you see all the positions, all the players, all the positions of the constellation represented in the room, you know already, and you can follow consciously with whom they work. And as a medium, you also understand what they do. And what they really do in a symptom constellation, in case there is perpetrator energy in an energy field of a family or a person, then they throw this, they disempower that forces, the negative energy, they push that out of the energy field. And this is a wonderful thing if you experience that. Also, of course, for the client. And then this is one thing. And the second thing is that then after the perpetrator energy is gone, or there is maybe in certain situations there is no perpetrator at all, this is also possible. Then they work with the souls of the victims, or the souls who are in sadness and grief about somebody who passed away too early. So they work with the souls of the one who passed away, or the souls of the victims, and they work also with the family members of the who are in grief because a person or one member of the family passed away too early. And this is very healing work, because then grief comes into flow. Plus, and this is very important at this point, the healing voices rainbow energies also help the soul of the victim, or the soul of the child who died early, for example, and is still frozen in the trauma freeze. Help those souls out of the trauma freeze and connect it with the path they have to, as souls, they have to go, and they are liberated from the trauma. And this cannot be done by just human will, but the shamanic healing powers, who are obviously coming from for the bigger whole, from the universe, they have access to their possibilities, and they do that, which is very healing for the client. Because then the burden and the grief does not have to be carried by the descendants, or doesn't have to be carried by somebody who is suffering on unresolved trauma in a past life. It can be healed that way. So this is the most important healing mechanisms of shamanic healing powers in this field. And now I want to talk about the training because the origin of the idea to do a training for me was simply the fact that I'm 70 years old now, and I will work many years from now, at least I plan that, but at some point I will not be able to go on. Everybody has to leave at some point this world and go to another one. So I said, okay, this is so powerful work, and I could help so many people, and will be able to help many people, but others should also have the possibility to learn that and get to the level I am now with this work. So I started to think about the concept, what is needed for this, and now the concept is done. The German training is already running. It started last year, and this year, October 17th, the English training on Zoom is starting, and I'm very glad that this is all on the way. And now what it is, the structure of that training. It is 4 modules, and the total is, every module is 2 years, so it's 8 years. But don't be afraid of that. It is, the first module is 2 years, and you can do this. And then you can stop and say, okay, this is enough for me. You get the first module is called Practitioner. And what you learn in the first module, it is, by the way, 8 workshops in the period of 2 years, so 4 workshops every year, every 3 months, 1 workshop. And every workshop is 3 days. That is the structure there. And what you learn there is to become a pure medium for the shamanic healing powers of Healing Voices Rainbow. To offer that to a client on a one-to-one basis, still without a constellation. So this is the aim, and you get the certificate to be a Healing Voices practitioner, Rainbow practitioner, after that period, and when you attended all those 8 workshops. And you can use the label Healing Voices Rainbow, which is a protected label. For this work, you can use it for your practice, you can use it for your promotion in social media and all that. But you will not only learn to be a pure medium for healing voices in those first 2 years, you will also get a basic training in symptom constellations. Because we will do many symptom constellations for the participants, so you will have several symptom constellations on your own issues, and you will also seek symptom constellations and experience symptom constellations also in the being a representative for other symptom constellations for other participants, plus always connected with a Healing Voices Rainbow. And what is the, how can you become a pure channel for Healing Voices Rainbow energies? There are 3 things. One is that you have to vision, or that you have to look for your shadow areas. Identify the shadow areas in your unconscious and get a solution or healing for this. And we will do this with Symptom Constellations and Healing Voices Rainbow. Why is that important? Because you get into touch with a very strong shamanic healing powers when you are working as a medium for it. Plus you can also get in touch with some aggression in the energy field of the client, with some grief in the energy field of the client, or also anxiety there. And if you would have still a shadow area with anxiety or unconscious grief in yourself, or unconscious level of a high aggression there, it could be this could be revived, and during the session, during you do this work as a medium, and then you get an overload of the personal emotion there, and then you get out of the role of being a medium, because then you cannot be pure medium. There is something added, or you hold something back unconsciously. So shadow work will be one of the basic content of the Module 1 Practitioner. So it will also be a very good experience for yourself to get an extensive improvement or development of your personality through healing your major shadow areas. This is one thing. And the second thing is what you have to focus on if you want to be a pure medium for Healing Voices Rainbow is the ego. You have to somehow to transform the disruptive influences of the ego. The ego, I define the ego as the little consciousness, consciousness of human beings, the one who is always afraid, who wants to gather power or money to be strong and fight against the world, and so the ego wants too much for itself. And this is, of course, normal development of human beings. The child has to differentiate and see the mother separate from itself. It has to say I and you, and this is me and this is you. This is normal, but if you want to, if you are an adult and you grow into a certain age, then this ego normally transforms, if in the ideal case, to the ego gets weaker, and the consciousness of being connected to a greater whole will in the ideal case grow. So you find yourself, when you know about your connections to the greater whole. And this is then the way you can transform that. So this is what I call principle of unity. I wrote a book about it, and there is also an article about it. And the thing is that then you understand also, consciously, that you are something very special human being, but you understand your deepest importance by saying yes to the connections to the greater whole. So you are important, but you are only important in the connection with the greater whole. And so this is important to work and to be a pure channel for Healing Voices Rainbow energies. Because if you think you are the one who's doing that, you are the big guy or the big woman who and get an inflated ego, then the flow of that energy will stop right away. So this is something which is important, and some of the inflated ego is even unconscious. You don't even know about it, and it still could get into your way. And the other way of ego, the other side of the coin, is false modesty. False modesty means that you are not dare to do that work. You not dare to be important. You don't dare to follow that path, which is your vision, maybe also your calling, but you don't dare to. And it could be also seen as the other side of an inflated ego, because then you decide or pretend that you're higher, supreme, to the greater whole, who maybe put already all those possibilities, all those abilities all those talents in you, and the Greater Whole wants you to bring that to life. But you don't, and you think, okay, you can push that back and say no. But there are also other backgrounds of false modesty, and some of that is also has its origin maybe in childhood trauma or things which your father or your mother or somebody else said to you in a negative way, or even unresolved trauma of some sort in the family of origin or even past life, so that this could also hinder you to do that. And of course we will do this work, symptom constellations, shadow work and ego work in the first module, Practitioner, to really make you fit for that task, to be a pure channel for that energy. And we will focus also on maybe some blockages between you and Healing Voices, and there are often some unconsciously. That means you want to do it, you try to do it, but there's always something blocking your energy towards that. And we can very well address that with a symptom constellation. So we will do this in the training. We will do it also in the pilot weekend next week already. For those who want to be there, we will. And this is a short constellation. You, Healing Voices Rainbow on the other side, and then maybe in between a blockage, the message of the blockage, and then we see whether there is unresolved trauma of some kind in the background of that blockage, and of course how to solve that. So this will be also all part of the module 1, Practitioner. And the second module, if you decide to go on, is I call that Healing Voices Healer. It's the same time, also 8 workshops in a period of 2 years. And then this is more of that coming, more shadow work, more ego transforming, and more symptom constellations. So there's also more training in symptom constellations in the second module. But the aim of the second module is, if you're done with that you can be a medium for Healing Voices Rainbow, not only with one client. You can do that with a group, and the size of the group is not limited. You can do this with 5 people in a room. You can do it with 50 people in the room, or you could do it online on Zoom or other platforms, and you could have 1,000 people there. You could do Healing Voices with them at the same time. Of course, that needs more training, but this is the aim of the second module, Healer. In the third module is then the module Master, and in the Master the focus is on more symptom constellations, on more details, how to facilitate a symptom constellation, plus more experiences with Healing Voices in symptom constellations. And then when you are a master after 6 years, then you are on my level doing this work for clients and groups internationally, if you want. And the fourth module is just a trainer. You know, the masters can, some of them, if they say, well, we want to train people, we want to really know how to do this, and so this work can go on this planet, and then you do a fourth module, and this is more intense, and this focuses on then how to teach, with which methods and with structure you can teach people to really become masters of that work. And the advantage of that of the training is not only that you get all those skills. The one advantage is also that you will become a member of a worldwide community of people who are on that path, and we will, of course, try to also do in-person workshops in different countries over time, in addition to the training. So we can also gather and see what we can experience together on a sophisticated level, and do also maybe collective constellations on societal levels. This is like a vision of mine that we could do that. Okay, so this is my introduction to that, and if you are interested to really consider whether you want to be in the training starting on October 17th this year, you might also, the best way would be to come to the pilot weekend, coming weekend. This is September 13th and 14th. So if you consider to be part of the training, but you're not quite sure, then this would be great. This is a 2-day workshop with a reduced price, 50% discount for you for this, and you book only this one weekend, and after the weekend you can decide whether you want to register for the whole module 1 practitioner, and everybody who's registering for the module 1 also agrees that they will do all the 8 workshops. But the pilot weekend, you can just book that and see what's going on there. We will, in the pilot weekend, it's great because you will see symptom constellations, healing voices rainbow. You will see how I teach it. We will do small groups where you can do the 4-column test and see where is the blockage for yourself, maybe on your way. And then we will also, in some participants in this weekend, we will do a whole healing work to solve those blockages, and you see how that feels. Who might be also interested in the training, and there were already 2 pilot weekends in April and June, and this is now the 3rd one for those people who got to know it a little bit later. Okay, thank you for listening to me, and then we open the space for questions and answers and comments for you. The website of the Academy, where you find all the dates for the training. I founded the Academy, the Healing Voices Rainbow Academy, and this is here the homepage. Okay, here is the website of the Academy. And then you have here the menu, and you go to training, and then you have the pilot workshop here for next weekend. Then you have the 4 modules, and the training of the dates of the first module practitioner you find here when you go to practitioner. And the practitioner, here is dates there. You go to dates and fees, but you can also find it if you scroll down. Here is what all the content what I talked about. You have all the links to that, and then there is duration and size, and then you have all the dates. Module 1 practitioner. Here there are 8 workshops here, and you only pay always. This is the pilot workshop here. Is just 50% discount, so it's only 142 euros for those two days. And the training, the module 1 is total 3,400, but it's for 3 days it's 428. And you just pay for every workshop in advance, so you don't have to pay for the whole workshop. You only pay. On Eventbrite, it's also all on Eventbrite. You only pay this amount before in advance of every single workshop 8 times, and this sums up to that. Here, book Energy Medicine. You go to the link, and here is the book, and this is the content of the training. All what I teach is there already, and it's in print, and it's also as an ebook. and you can order anywhere in your bookstore, on Amazon. It's all on here, and you can also here reading some. You can read the first the foreword here. Okay, now we come to the part where I will invite the shamanic healing powers of Healing Voices Rainbow for you, for everybody in the group, plus for everybody who will watch the recording later on. So it will be designed for the whole group, and it will be also designed on every individual present here in the group, and also designed for everybody, already now designed for everybody who will watch this recording in the future. This is possible because time plays no role for those energetic healing powers. And what I will do, I will invite the shamanic healing powers, and my invitation is always, this is not a secret, you can know that I invite all the female and male healers of all times to heal and to healing work for the group and for all the people who will watch that later on, if they want and if they can. I always say that, so we cannot push them to do anything, but we can do a humble invitation. And it goes through sounds and gestures. So I will, for a few minutes, I will be a medium for them and just follow the energy. And it goes through sounds, different kinds. And if you want to have experience with that, you can open up for this and just make a decision inside of you. If you just want to witness that without any effect on you, you just close yourself, say, okay, well, I want to just be there, I want to see what it is. But if you want to open up, it's good. Yeah, then you will be able to have maybe a healing experience on the physical or mental level. It doesn't have to be. There's no 100% promised, but it could be. And normally, in most people, there are some effect of that. And I would suggest that you let all your feelings which want to come during that healing, let it flow. It's okay. Often there could be pictures coming in front of your eyes, or movie scenes like in a fantasy journey. That's also good, and it's you can also let your eyes open, but it's most of the time better just to close your eyes and listen and feel what's going on. And it's not long; it might be 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then this will slowly then come to an end. And then I will stop the recording, and maybe there are a few minutes more time to share do some sharing of your experiences there. Okay, and if it's loud, it gets louder, so don't worry. You are always safe with that work. And this is, for example, somebody you could then learn and be doing after the first module practitioner, after those 2 years when you get the certificate to be a Healing Voices practitioner. Okay, let's start here.
Thank you.
Okay, it's time to end the webinar. Thank you for being with me. It was a pleasure for me to be with all of you. And if you're interested, come next weekend. We have 2 days together, and we do much deeper work as today, of course, because we have more time. And then, if you decide to already decided to be part of the training, just drop me an email, and then you get an answer with all the details how to really register for the module 1.